The European MTBO Championships 2024 were held in Poland, in Warmia and Mazura region nearby city of Ostruda. I enjoyed it a lot, especially the long and the middle distance. It all started with the sprint distance, which was all in the forest, but in my opinion it was sprinty just until the semi control, because after that it was fairly easy and more about pushing hard than about not making any mistakes. But still, I managed to do a huge mistake while riding off path, and that cost me more than a minute and definitely a medal. The winner of that day was Samuel Pekala, half a minute before Ignas Ambrazas and another 24 seconds before Andre Haga. I finished 9th with 1.5 minute loss to the winner. The next day was the long distance. After seeing the sprint distance, I was expecting quite a boring race, where the most important aspect would be to push really hard all the time. I'm glad I was wrong. The route choices were really nice, and the most important aspect of the race was the execution of the route choices because of so many junctions and crossings in between the controls. There wasn't any place for the head to rest. I had a really good race and made only 2 bad route choices. One cost me 40 seconds and the other one cost me almost 2 minutes. But still I pushed really hard and managed to finish first, 3 minutes ahead of Andy Waldman and Samuel Pekala. I didn't have a good sleep after long distance and felt really tired. My Garmin watch was showing that my training readiness was 1 out of 100. It can't get any lower. In quarantine, I had 3 coffees, but that didn't help either, so... Middle distance. I would like to make a deeper analysis of the race, which was also shot on the GoPro. In the start corridor, my main goal was to put the map in the map holder precisely and plan the first couple of controls. I'm not like other riders who can plan and even remember most of their course in the first minute. I'm more of a rider who cares only about this and the next control. When I started, I had 2 scenarios ready for control number 3. While climbing up the hill to control number 2, I was checking the terrain, whether it's suitable for such a long riding of the path or not. I didn't get that feeling from the terrain, so I kept pushing up the hill and approached the third control the way that I didn't have to turn at the control. For the next control there was a possibility to cut a corner. Meadow seemed quite rideable, so I decided to go for it, but at the end there wasn't any gain or loss done by this cutting. I knew that I want to ride north from the control number 5, so I was deciding whether to go from the left side and have to turn out at the control, or from the right side and hope that the obstacle won't be that high and it will be possible to ride over it. I decided to go from the right side, but sadly I missed the narrow right and left the path too late. The open area was really hard to ride, so I had to get off the bike eventually and run. And as a cherry on top, the fallen tree was quite high. By this mistake, I lost half a minute. To next control, I decided to go from the left side and then keep it as short as possible, which was the fastest. I also checked how the control number 14 looks like and how hard is it to pass the obstacles. Luckily, those were 2 fallen trees which were possible to jump over. To the 8th control, I didn't even think there was any other sensible route choice, so I just went from the left side. By this, I was also able to check the surroundings and obstacles around control number 11. But in the finish, I was really surprised that it was much faster to go from the right side. I lost almost 20 seconds there. For the next one, I planned that if possible, I would like to cut. I didn't see it, but in our map there was even a narrow right, so it was fairly easy. I missed the dots to the control, but I didn't turn back. To control number 11, it was also possible to cut, but I decided to rather go around because it didn't seem that much longer. It was faster to cut though, but only by a few seconds. Leaving the control, I knew I had to turn left, but the path continued to the right. I stopped immediately because I knew something is wrong. I even thought I got lost and find some different control because I didn't check the control code. But when I turned around, I saw the path I should be taking, so this mistake didn't cost me much, just like 10 seconds. In the area where the course was crossing, I was ringing my bell just in case because I knew how fast I was going there just a couple of minutes back. To control number 13, I decided to go straight, which wasn't anyhow slow, but I fell down. And when I got my bike back together, I continued in the wrong direction.
The other way around?
Yes. Luckily, there was some fallen tree which made me realize where exactly I am, so I could recover from the mistake quite fast. I lost 15 seconds by the crash and another 15 seconds by the mistake afterwards. It was fastest to go straight, going from the left side was some 13 seconds slower, and going from the right side was 20 seconds slower. To the next control, I went from the left side because I knew I can pass by the control in full speed despite the obstacles, but I lost some 15 seconds there because it was faster to go from the right side. I was checking the forest between controls 16 and 17 for a long time, but I didn't feel confident enough entering it, so I rather went around. By this, I lost 10 seconds. To the next control, I decided to go through the forest, which was fine. I just got a bit confused nearby the thicket because I saw some open area and thought it might be the one nearby the control.
What?
I lost 10 seconds there, but still was 10 seconds faster than those going from the left side and 20 seconds faster than those going from the right side. To control number 19, I went from right, because I assumed that riding through the forest, jumping over the obstacle and turning at the control are too many minor losses. I still believe this was a good road choice, even though I lost some 10 seconds there. I probably gained some seconds right away by not turning at the control. The most stupid mistake came after control number 20, where I didn't check well the situation in map and thought the path will continue and then turn right, but the turning point was already at the control. I had to ride through the forest and lost some half a minute there. Control number 22 was one of the most complicated ones. Riding straight was feasible, it was also my choice, but I missed the path, so I decided to go from the right side instead. After a couple of seconds, I saw another entrance to the forest, which seemed quite good, so I turned around and went for it. From the navigational point of view, it was pretty easy because I was riding in between two hills until I hit the path. I was kinda lucky with this choice, I didn't lose anything. Even going from the right side was pretty fast. The worst route choice was going from the left side, where probably the map wasn't as perfect because all the riders going from the left side made some mistake there. Before approaching this control, I also checked the way to the next control over the open area, which seemed really good, so I turned right away at the control and went for it. It was almost the end of the race, and it was fairly easy to navigate until the finish. But still I didn't push anyhow hard and I double checked everything, because making a mistake in this part would be really sad. I pushed really hard from the last junction when I was 100% sure I won't make any mistake until the finish. I lost 8 seconds by this, but to me it was definitely worth it. In total, I lost 3 times half a minute and like 5 times 10 to 20 seconds, which was surprisingly enough for the bronze medal. I lost 10 seconds to second Ignas Ambrazas from Lithuania, who made a really big mistake to control number 23, and almost a minute to Andrej Haga from Finland.
Third place from Czech Republic, Wojtek Ludwig, long distance champion. The sprint through medalist, Ignas Ambrazas, Lietuva, second time on a second place. And the sprint bronze medalist from Finland, Andrej Haga, second time on the podium with the first place.
Mixed relay was the last competition of this year's European Championships.
3, 2, 1, start! Let's just scream, let's support! Yes, sir, the relay is on the way. Additionally on the right side in the lead, and then Czech Republic and Splitter from Denmark as well in the top 3. They have started the first leg.
On the first leg, they are usually women, and it was no different in our relay. Martina Tichovská didn't make any big mistake and was handing me over the relay on the second position, 1 minute behind Denmark, and in contact with teams Czechia 2, Italy 1 and Finland 3.
Like in the second place. And then it's Rosalie Kucherov who was among top 10. And Lisa Rotakamrani doing very good job. 3 stars total to junior category.
At the beginning we were riding together with the guys, but then I had some better forkings and managed to hand over the relay to Kristof on the first position, half a minute before Finland won with Andre Haga on their third leg. This part is really interesting on the GPSs because different route choices and mistakes and forkings on their legs, together with teams Czechia 2 and Italy 1 following them, created quite a nice show which couldn't be seen from the arena. Check it out. So this was it. Our 5 days in Poland went by really fast, and now it's time to get ready for the races in July. World Cup in Latvia and Öringen in Sweden. See you there.